Well, 98% of our fishing is fly fishing for billfish. That's really how we got into this big boat ownership program with the crew that we have. I sort of got into the fly fishing for billfish by accident 22 years ago now in Guatemala, when my now good friend Bud Gramer sort of dared me to throw the fly at a sailfish, and I never had a fly rod in my hand before, even though I'd caught several thousands of billfish, and I was pretty intimidated, to tell you the truth, but I did it. The fly got in the water some way, sailfish ate it, and I caught it, and the bite was about maybe 15 feet behind the boat, and of course the sailfish are such a beautiful animal, and it was crystal clear water, and you saw everything up close and personal, and it was like, wow, this is pretty doggone cool. So by the end of that trip, I'd booked another trip to come back over and fish Guatemala fly fishing, and that was pretty much the beginning of what we've been doing for the last 22 years. We built the 64-footer a couple of years later after we had gotten some experience under our belt with a 57-foot Spencer, which was a real good fish boat. Learned a lot from that boat. But we did build the 64 Bayliss specifically for the traveling and the long-range capabilities. In that boat we had 2,300 gallons of fuel and pretty much redundant everything with equipment, including generators, water makers, and what have you. So that boat served us really well, and we were able to stay completely self-contained away from any port for at least a week at a time. So we fished Mag Bay a lot every year in the fall and into the winter season. We're away from any significant port by 150 to 200 miles, and a boat that can't be self-contained can't be there is really what it boils down to. And now that we've started to fish the fads over the last 8 or 9 years in Costa Rica, we're out for 5 days typically on those. So again, we have to be self-contained, and we have to be very comfortable 24 hours a day at sea, 150 miles offshore. But with the new boat, we did install 2 sea keepers, which helps with the stability, obviously, and especially at night when we're trying to get some rest, and we're under varying sea conditions. We never know exactly what we're going to have offshore, especially when we're 150 miles offshore, and there's a lot of squalls that come up, so they can toss you around a little bit even on a bigger boat. So the sea keepers are going to give us a better night's sleep, and always look forward to that. But other than that, just sort of a grown-up version of the 64. We put the Omni Furuno big 360-degree scanning sonar, which we installed on the 64-footer 2 years ago, and that is an amazing tool for helping us find fish and bait schools. And I think everybody today agrees if you don't have that on board, you're probably not going to be in the game. So I think we've done what we could do to make sure we're going to be as capable as possible to find and catch the fish when we get there.